Did I make the same mistake again? Maybe I'll learn my lesson this time. If you watched my last video, you know that the last time I tried to do a minor adjustment to my bike, it took me 6 months. Hopefully this time I didn't make those same mistakes, okay? Let's see what happened this time. Recap really quick here. Hey, I'm just a regular guy, and I'm trying to earn my Ranger patches. I'm trying to call them my Ranger badges. And the one I'm working at right now is a series on being a bike commuter. So I want to be able to be a certified bike commuter, a Ranger, a bike Ranger, whatever you want to call it. Right now, the next step I'm working on is changing out my tires. I've got to know my bike. So what happened? Well, first thing I did is I ordered these bike tires. I wanted to upgrade from a smaller set of road tires to something that could handle this situation I have when I'm riding to work, and it's a little bit of street, but it's a bunch of gravel, it's a bunch of dirt, and when it snows, not exactly a stable situation. I want to be able to continue to ride. So I figured I can do this, but instead of doing what I should have done last time, I went ahead and just watched a couple of YouTube videos. I went on the manufacturer's site and webpage and went onto their YouTube channel, and I watched how to remove the tires and whatnot. What I found out when it started is that I immediately started running into some problems. What are those problems? Well, the first one is I get it off and I can't actually get the tools that I have to actually get the tire off. Turns out that if you want to get a tire off that hasn't been off in a while, might want to make sure that it's not cold. Very easy thing. I understand you can watch everything it tells you about running it over, but several videos mention it. If the tire is cold, it's not coming off. So that's just a lesson learned, okay? In the future, you want to take a tire off, make sure that the tire has been warmed up a bit, okay? And then the other thing is, I did not realize that I was not as strong as I thought I was. I'm used to being able to manipulate things, but at the time I was doing this, you can see on my hand there, this hand here, my little pulley, it's a rock climbing injury that if you're trying to, I know, get back into shape, you might find yourself injuring yourself from repetitive motions. And that's what this pulley injury was. I couldn't do the squishy. So in trying to even change the tire over, that was a problem. So that's a challenging thing. Overcame that. I now realize that what you have to do is bring in an extra tool. The tool I found is a little clamps that I have for my photography, and I use those to hold the tire in place as I went around so I can go ahead and get it off. Because that's super helpful, really a good thing to be able to have, all right? All the other things about ripping it around, they don't really work. When a tire has been on a bike for a while, what you find out is that tire, okay, and the wheel are kind of one, and you've got to really work those off. So maybe not a thing to do when you're like, hey, I got an hour before work, let's see if I can do this in an hour. Spoiler alert, didn't get done in an hour, okay? So that's a lesson you can just take in and learn from me. You don't have to, make that same mistake yourself, all right? And then the hard part comes, okay? First thing I did, I did make sure to do the easy tire. I did the front wheel. I made sure that the right tire rotation is going the right way, and I got those lessons learned. And I'm so glad I learned those lessons, and I did not start on the rear tire. Man, my glasses are crooked. I didn't start on the rear tire on this electric bike because let me tell you what, all right, I figured now that I know how to do the front tire when I do the rear tire, this should be easy. Immediately ran into a problem here. Okay, first of all, the parts that come how it says online, not every single bike is exactly the same, and you'll find that out. Like there might be some manufacturing improvements, or maybe this one might have been like an early production bike, but the way that it was described of how to take it off did not match off with how this went. Okay, part of the bike was fused together, like you could see it straight up, like it was like into the aluminum. So I had to bring in some extra tools, all right? And then I also discovered something else. Once I got that tire off, I got everything off. Like getting the belt off was easy. Getting the actual wheel off was relatively easy. Is that the free wheel on the motor had gotten gunk in it, so I had to do a little bit of maintenance on that. So at least I got the benefit of learning about my about my different, like the different ways to work on my bike, what actually fixes it. So I'm really glad that I got to be able to work on that. Getting it back on and aligned turned out to be a big problem. Make sure that when you're removing your tire, you don't go through and not mark where things are, because once I got it on there, it wasn't quite right. Luckily, this tire did fit right on the bike, no problem. It was a bigger tire. Really happy about that. And the thing about getting really the main T bike, the thing it was just making sure that they're both laid in there, and you use your extra tools to get those things out. All right, really happy that I was able to figure this out. I do have to go back. I've been riding the bike for a little bit. I need to take the front wheel off and realign it a little bit. I've put on a few more things, but let's see if I can go ahead and continue this. I've ordered some mud guards, and I'm going to be putting on the bike. And then I've ordered a seat. It's got a suspension seat or a cushion seat, because I am not young, and this is my daily commuter. And I'm telling you what, the seat, this seat does not love that ride that much, and it would be nice to get a little bit of cushion on there. So I'm hoping that I get these things done, and then I can finally earn my very first Ranger badge. Now, to give you an idea of how that's gonna go, is that once all these things are done, I'm gonna go down to one of the bike shops, or the one of the bike project that we have here in our town, and I'm going to see if they can go ahead and see how I do a tire change, how I do a belt tensioning change, or whatever I got to do, how I maintain my brakes. That might be a separate video, because I really don't know how to work on these brakes, and I know there's a lot of videos out there, but I feel like I should know this a little bit better. And then, of course, see if I also understand my bike safety. So I think the last one is going to be my communication with cars when I'm on the road. So that way, as a pedestrian or as a cyclist or as a driver, you know what hand signals are going up that a biker is making, and how to be safe on and share the road as the cyclist and as a motorist. So that way we all know, because I think we all assume we know how it works, but I don't think we do. Let's get this done. Let's see if I can actually get my Ranger badge, okay? I'm trying to do this before the end of the month, so let's see if I can get these out, get my Ranger badge.